Welcome to Duality Gamecast, sponsored by Gladiator Games. Today's Quick Hits episode features Timeline.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Quick Hits. Today we're going to be covering Timeline, a game by Asmodee. Matt, how does it play?
So Timeline is a pretty simple game. Each player, from 2 to 8 players, starts with 4 cards in front of him. Each one has an illustration and a name. They represent some kind of invention or culturally significant happening from throughout time. And on the back is the exact same thing, but a year. And you're not supposed to look at that to start the game. There'll be one card from the rest of the deck set out in front of everybody with the date up. First player will pick one of their cards and put it either to the left or right of that card. If they think it happened before that card, they put it to the left. If they think it happened after, they put it to the right. So for instance, I have the domestication of cattle. I think that happened before our start card, which was the invention of the plastic bottle.
Probably did.
We will then check it to see if I was correct. Yay! Negative 9,000, I guess so. And then it'll pass to the next player.
Let's see. First man into space. I think that happened just before the plastic bottle? Let's see. So I'll put it right in there. We'll flip it over.
Yeah, 1961.
1961. All right.
Good job. Play continues like that until the first person completely runs out of their cards. Then you'll finish that round. If they're the only one who completely ran out of cards, they win the game. If somebody or some other buddies also run out of cards that turn, they will all draw one more card and play again until they can get down to just that one person who runs out of cards. It's a cute little game. William, what do you think about it?
I was surprised. This is not a game that, there's tons of these out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of different theming. I had a very negative opinion about it, having never played it. We sat down, we played it. I enjoyed it. I'm not a history person, I'm not a trivia person, but it's still fun because, especially with some of the more broad scope themed ones, you have stuff from domestication of cattle all the way up to, space flight all in one game. That's kind of funny. Sometimes it's really give-me's. It was kind of neat too. The art kind of helps you out a little bit. It kind of shows it shows a picture of that time in history, and you can guess, like we were looking, like you look at something like, oh, that guy's in Renaissance clothes. I'm assuming that happened, before space flight or something like that. So for how simple it is and how it's something that would not be something I normally want, I enjoyed it quite a bit playing it. So I think it did a good job.
Yeah, me too. I was skeptical as well. Trivia games can get really dull fast for me. This isn't really a trivia game. This is more like a deduction game, kind of. You're puzzling out dates and events. You don't have to know the exact number, which I like a lot. And they've got a lot of different sets, which is cool too. We're playing right now one called Diversity, so it covers a lot of different time frames on a lot of different subjects. There's American history, world history, I think. There's a bunch of different ones. They come in these cute little tins. Speaking of the tins, what do you think about the components?
Well, so the tins are, for what they are, I think they're, if you're going to get a ton of these, I don't know if they kind of stack, but they don't really lock together because they all have really nice art on the front of them, but it's raised, so they don't really stick together. But storage-wise, it's fine for it. I think otherwise it'd be like a little box like this big, the whole game would fit in. Which gets to probably my one complaint about the game, is that this game is only cards. It's all about the cards, and the cards are the itty bitty little cards. Yeah. And I just wish there was more. I don't know exactly what to say. I'm not really mad about it, but I'm not really happy with the fact that they're the first thing we did when we opened it up, we went, oh, they're small cards. I didn't expect that because it just feels like this should be something that you're dealing with, big meaty cards. It's the whole game. But art-wise is great. The quality of the cards is good. But again, with the small cards, because the stacks are, relatively thick, if this was full-size cards, I probably could manage to shuffle this together. But with the little cards, you hit to break it into little bits and shuffle them in pieces and put them together. They're small, so it's hard to shuffle. Mind you, you probably actually don't need to shuffle this game that often because you just put it back in the box, everything you haven't played, and you're not going to play the same set 50 times, I guess. I feel like the replayability is kind of like Trivia Pursuit. Even though it's not a trivia game, I feel like this is a game that you kind of go through it once, and then you're like, well, I mean, there's still some nuances, like, you know, a difference of a couple years, but I feel like if you're enjoying this, you're going to keep buying more sets of it and keep going along. That's the fun factor.
And you can mix the sets too.
That's true. You get just a huge stack of itty bitty cards. So how would you rate it, Matt?
I'm gonna call it a love it. You know, whenever I see a light game, which is what this is, with a short time frame that I enjoy and would play again and can play with different groups of people. Like, this is a family friendly game, and it's light but gamer friendly as well. I like it. I'll call it love it.
I'm gonna go with a like it. It surprised me. It went from a pass in my mind to I like it. It's something I will definitely never stick my nose up at again. If I see people playing, they invite me over, I'll play it. But it's not anything I think I'm ever going to suggest as the game we play as a filler. I think I'd almost always pick something else that I feel is a little bit more gamery for me.
All right, guys. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching this Quick Hits. Click right here to subscribe. Thanks to these people for making this video possible.
You good?
I am so good, buddy.
All right. So I'm going to mess it up like 3 times. So we'll just...